Hi, I'm Dr. Veronique Desonnier, better known as Dr. V, and welcome to the emotional clearing of breast cancer using EFT. So no doubt you've come to this site because you or somebody that you know may be affected by breast cancer, and you're curious to see or would like some help with clearing the emotions associated with breast cancer. Now, research has shown that there's definitely a connection to our emotions and our physical being. We've all experienced that. When we get stressed, we feel the muscles in our shoulders and neck get tight. We may feel a burning in the pit of our stomach. Those are the reactions that we sense and feel on a very superficial physical level. But those emotions, and we know that emotions are energy in motion, can actually get trapped on a cellular level energetically. And unless those emotions are released, those emotions will accumulate in the body and cause some blockages of energy flow through the body. EFT is a beautiful technique. It's very simple, even children can learn to do it. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. When I first learned about it, I was a little skeptical, but as I started using it and felt some shifts right away, I knew that this was something that I wanted to use personally and that I would also offer to my patients when I was in practice. Now, EFT is based on the premise that we have meridians that run through our body, and these acupuncture points have definitely been scientifically proven. And these points are actually points of energy in various parts of the body that connect to our organs. Now, with EFT, basically all you're going to do is tap specific points on the hands, on the face, and on various parts of the body. And we're going to run through those points in just a few minutes. But when you think about the emotional connection with breast cancer, and you think about your experience personally, I encourage you to sit down for about 30 minutes, get a journal, and start thinking about the things that maybe affected you as a child that you just swallowed or tried to forget about, or things that happened to you as a teenager and then as a young adult, or even things that are affecting you right now. Write those down so that you can be very clear about what it is that you want to release and let go of. Because those emotions, those toxic emotions, those negative emotions are really blocking the energy flow in the body and are not helping you to heal. When you start, let's say when you pick an emotion, I would like for you to give it a number. Now we use this number on a scale of 1 to 10. It's an intensity scale. 10 means you're very, very impacted, very stressed out about the emotion. 1 means it really doesn't bother you very much. So we're going to start off with a setup statement. The setup statement basically is using the negative emotion, and we're going to tap that. Now, before we do that, as an example, I'm going to show you the main points that we use. We're going to use what we call the karate chop point, and you can use these 2 fingers right here to tap, and just gently tap, and you're going to tap about 7 times. Then you're going to tap the top of the head, and you can use 1 hand or you can use 2 hands. I like to use 2 hands because it's a little bit more effective. You use the inside of the eye, the inside of the eyebrow, outside of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, on the chin, inside the collarbone. I like to use these points right here, right at the base of the rib cage. Those are our liver anger points. And about 4 inches underneath the armpit. And those points are usually pretty tender. So you'll know you're on the right spot if it's a little bit tender. After you've done the negative setup statement and you run through those points, then we're going to do a positive reinforcement statement, and we're going to go through those points at the same time. So let's do a few examples so you can see how this works. So let's use the phrase, even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. So you're going to tap on this point, and the setup statements always start with even though, and they end with I can totally and completely love myself, or accept myself, or respect myself, or honor myself. So we'll start with, even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. Move to the top of the head. Even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. And you can do these along with me. Even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. So now that the body's kind of in tune and awakened to that negative statement, we're going to reinforce and change and shift to a positive statement. So again, just follow along with me. So even though I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, I know my body can heal. My body is very strong. I know that I'm doing the right thing. I have confidence in my treatment methods. I know that my body can heal. I know that I'm strong. My immune system is strong and healthy. I am strong and healthy. I'm releasing the toxic emotions that may have led to breast cancer. I can totally and completely love myself. And you can run through this with various statements. You can keep going. After you've done it for about 3-4 minutes, you can just stop for a second and ask yourself what those emotions are feeling like. If you started off and you were at a 10, really freaked out about something, but now you're feeling a little bit more mellow, maybe it's down to about a 6, I encourage you to keep going. The goal is to be able to get down to a 2 or a 1 or a 0. Now, what I'm showing you here is just a very basic sample. You can go to the EFTuniverse.com where you can learn more specifically how to apply EFT. There's other adjunctive therapies that can go along with it, different tips, different pointers that will impress the effect of EFT a little bit better. But this is just for basic demonstration purposes. Let's do another statement. Even though I fear the outcome of my diagnosis with breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I fear the outcome of breast cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I have fear about the outcome, even though there's a lot of fear about the outcome, even though there's fear about the future, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though there's fear about the outcome, I can totally and completely love myself. I can totally and completely love myself. Even though there's fear about the outcome, I can totally and completely love myself. So that was the negative statement. Now let's reinforce it with a positive one. I know my body can heal. I know that I will have a positive outcome. I feel great about the future. I feel wonderful about the positive outcome. I see my body healing. I see the reports and the results coming back being very positive. I know my body can heal. I am taking advantage of all the knowledge that I have to be able to heal my body. I am proactive and I'm looking at all the different methods to heal my body. I know my body can heal. The treatment methods that I choose are working very effectively. I know that I will have a positive outcome. I see a positive outcome. I feel a positive outcome. I am strong and I'm healthy and I feel wonderful. I know the future holds wonderful things for me. My body is strong and it is healing. So that's another example. EFT is very effective when it comes to pain. As a matter of fact, you can use it for headaches, for digestive problems, back pain, knee pains. I've used it many times on many patients for all kinds of different pain issues that didn't seem to clear from just a structural point of view. So let's talk about pain a little bit. Let's do a series about pain, because oftentimes with breast cancer and breast cancer treatments, no matter what kind of treatment you may be doing, whether it's alternative or the traditional, there's some pain associated with it that's not very pleasant. So let's talk about the pain. So even though I have pain in my breast, or even though I have pain in my body, I can totally completely love myself. Even though I have pain in my breast or pain in my body, I can totally completely love myself. Even though I have pain in my body or pain in my breast, I can totally and completely love myself. So even though I have this pain, even though I have this pain in my breast, even though I have this pain in my body, even though I have this pain in my body, even though I have this pain in my breast, even though I just don't feel good, even though I have this pain, even though this pain bothers me, even though I don't like this pain, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I have this pain in my body, I can totally and completely love myself. So now let's reinforce it with the positive statement. Even though I have this pain, I know this is only temporary. I know this pain is temporary. I know that I can release this pain. The pain is just an alarm signal that will eventually go off. The pain is an indication my body's working and doing the job. I know the pain is temporary. I know I can work through the pain. The pain is temporary. The pain is diminishing. I can feel the pain diminishing. The pain is being released. The pain that is blocking the energy is being released. The blocked energy is being released. I feel a soothing. I feel the pain releasing. Pain is not permanent. The pain will go away. The pain will be better. I will soon be released of the pain. I am releasing the pain. I'm letting go of the pain. I'm releasing the pain. So that's an example that has to do with the physical issue. Now, obviously, we know that there's a lot of emotional issues that go along with cancer. One of them could be anger, guilt, sad, frustration. You know, we don't have time for this because we're busy women. When you look at the meridians that affect the body, interestingly, the meridians that run through the breasts have to do with nurturing or lack of nurturing. It has to do with guilt. It has to do with being enough and always being a producer and always have to being competitive. So those are emotional issues that you may want to look at. So let's work on the idea of we don't have time for this. Who has time to be sick? So even though I'm a busy woman and I don't have time for this cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I'm a busy woman and I have so many things to do, and I don't have time for this cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. Even though I'm a busy woman and I don't have time for this cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. I don't have time for this cancer. My life is busy. I don't have time for this cancer. Don't have time for this cancer. Don't want to take the time for this cancer. Feel frustrated about having to take time for this cancer. This cancer is getting in my way. Even though I don't have time, even though I don't have time, even though I don't want to take the time for this cancer, I can totally and completely love myself. I can totally and completely love myself. So now let's reinforce it with the positive statement. Even though I don't have time for this cancer, I choose to take time for myself. I choose to be nurturing to myself. I choose to take the time to heal my body. I choose to take time for myself. I am deserving of extra time for myself. This time will help me be more centered. This time that I take for myself will help me to heal. This time that I'm taking for myself is nurturing and is wonderful. I am deserving of this extra time to take for myself. I love spending time for myself and on myself. I love looking at my heart and spending time to heal. Taking the time is a valuable part of my healing. I feel great about taking the time. I deserve to have this extra time. I love taking the time to heal my body. I love to take the time to heal my body. Taking the time to be centered and to nurture myself is a wonderful part of my life. I love to take time for myself, and I'm thankful for this journey. I'm learning a lot about myself as I take time for myself. So really, there's no conclusion to our breast cancer journey. It really is just a beginning. It's a bump in a road. We've all had, wonderful experiences as a result of it, and we come out at the end as a much stronger, more vibrant, more loving woman. So my intention for you is to send that loving energy, that your journey is one of healing, one of love, and that you are able to move beyond this journey and come out on the other side a vibrant, beautiful, happy, loving woman. Thank you.